Welcome to today's online content presentation, and this is your Hilal Sir, Muhammad Hilaluddin, Assistant Professor, English, Government Haji Muhammad Mohsin College. Welcome, my dear student, to today's online presentation class. Today's topic is from your English for Today, Unit 13, Art and Music, and the lesson entitled is Lesson 1, What is Beauty? And today's topic which I have chosen for you is a poem by Emily Dickinson, I Died for Beauty. After the class, we hope you will be able to have a greater understanding of the poem, and you will be able to make out the theme of the poem. Before going through the poem, let us have a brief profile of the 19th century American poet Emily Dickinson. She was born in Massachusetts in 1830 and died in 1886. When she died, she left 1775 poems, only 7 of which were anonymously published during her lifetime. But with the publication of her poems after her death, she has been recognized as one of the leading American poets with a uniquely distinctive voice. Her poetry deals with the mystic, spiritual, metaphysical, and aesthetic realities of life. So, she actually deals with the higher realities of life, higher ideals of life. Now, let us have a reading of this poem. I died for beauty. I died for beauty, but was skirts adjusted in the tomb. When one died for truth, was laid in an adjoining room. He questioned softly why I failed. For beauty, I replied, and I for truth. The two are one. We brethren are, he said. And so, as kinsmen met a night, we talked between the rooms until the moss had reached our lips and covered up our names. As we have read out the poem, we find that this is a very small poem. It has only 12 lines. So the structure of the poem has 3 quatrains or stanzas, each of which contains 4 lines of verse. So now let us go to the first stanza. I died for beauty, but was skirts adjusted in the tomb. When one who died for truth was lain in an adjoining room. Here in this first stanza, we find a repetition of the phrase died for. The phrase die for means to sacrifice one's life to pursue something devotedly, seriously, obsessively, to pursue something with fascination. And we have another word which is adjusted. Adjusted here means comfortable, comfortable. So when the speaker says, "I died for beauty," we can realize that the speaker is the person who has placed himself in the position of a martyr, a person who has sacrificed his life for the sake of beauty, for the sake of the pursuit of beauty. So he has proved himself to be a worshipper of beauty. But was his skirts adjusted in the tomb? He was just preparing himself to feel comfortable in his own grave. Just at that moment, he encountered another neighbor, another martyr, when one who died for truth was laying in an adjoining room. That means he encountered his neighbor in the nearby grave. So this poem presents before us the presence of two martyrs. One worshipper of beauty, one who has sacrificed his life for the sake of beauty, another who has sacrificed his life for the sake of truth. So one is the beauty seeker, another is the truth seeker. So here we have got two ideals, two personifications of abstract ideals called beauty and truth. Beauty is the manifestation or representation of the abstract thing. It belongs to a subject matter of, it belongs to the field of aesthetics, and truth represents the intellectual, metaphysical aspect of aesthetics. So two different types of ideals have been presented here. This concern of aesthetics, beauty and truth are the common concern of philosophy. So from that perspective, this is a philosophical poem, a poem which concerns beauty and truth. So from the very first stanza, we have understood that this poem is about beauty and truth. Now we will move to the second stanza. He questioned softly why I failed. For beauty, I replied, and I for truth. The two are one, we brethren are, he said. So, in the first line we have a word failed. The word failed here means died for. So, the second speaker who died for truth softly, endearingly asked the first speaker who died for beauty the question why he had died for. Why he had died for. The first speaker explained the reason for his death. That means he died for beauty. And hearing this, the second speaker explained his position, explained the reason for his death. And he pointed out that he had died for the for the pursuit of truth. Immediately after the explanation in the form of dialogue, the second speaker who initiated the dialogue, the second speaker made a remark that the two are one. The two means beauty and truth are one. One here means same, identical. So they have the common ground, common essence. We brethren are, he said. The martyr of truth then elaborated his observation by making the remark that beauty and truth are brethren. Brethren means kindred, kinsman, relative. So here the second speaker first gave us an opportunity to know the reason for their death on the first hand. On the other hand, the second speaker has also made an observation which focused the intimate relationship between the two philosophical aspects, beauty and truth. So the second stanza intensifies the matter that beauty and truth have a very intimate, close relationship or comradeship. So the second stanza is basically about the intimate relationship of two ideas, beauty and truth. Now we will move to the final stanza, the third stanza. And as kinsmen met a night, we talked between the rooms until the moss had raised our lips and covered up our names. So after establishing the close relationship, the two allegorical figures, beauty and truth, started behaving like close relatives, close kindreds, and they have started their intimate relationship and continued it until the moss had reached our lips and covered up our names. Here, the moss means the moss has symbolic meaning. Symbolically, it represents the materialistic world, and cover up means ignored, deleted. So, although the world ignored the relationship between beauty and truth, that means both beauty and truth continued their intimate relationship even after their death. And this relationship continued for a very long time. So at this point, we have come across another idea, another thematic concern, that is the concern about immortality. So, upon the whole, the poem deals with death and immortality. The poem deals with the two philosophical concerns, beauty and truth. So, from our reading of the poem, we find that the poem develops its theme through the dialogue of two personified abstract things, beauty and truth, in the fashion of an allegory. Now, an allegory is a figure of speech where there is a surface meaning, and at the same time we will get beneath the surface level meaning. So there are two meanings, surface meaning and deeper meaning. So on the one hand, they are the two abstract things. On the other hand, they are speaking like two personified figures. Both beauty and truth belong to the field of aesthetics, a concern of philosophy, and placing himself as already a dead person, the first speaker has also raised the issue of death and immortality in the poem. This poem gives us the scope for contextualization. Cherishing devotion to beauty and truth is a universal concern. All of us appreciate beauty and truth in our life, but many of us do not stick to this aesthetics of beauty and truth. So, in her poem, Emily Dickinson deals with beauty and truth which matter most to her. And in the handling of beauty and truth, Emily Dickinson comes closer to the English romantic poet John Keats, who, in his Ode on a Grecian Urn, has the prophecy to pronounce beauty is truth, truth, beauty. Now we will just give our final impression. Our last word on this poem may run as follows. The poem is an allegorical poem dealing directly with the aesthetic concerns of beauty and truth, with the close comradeship or kindred relationship between beauty and truth. And this poem is dealing obliquely with the reality of death and immortality. What is intensely paradoxical is that beauty representing sensuous pictorial aspect of aesthetics and truth representing intellectual and metaphysical aspect of aesthetics have been treated here as kinsmen. So we have discussed about this short poem of Emily Dickinson. So, my dear students, we hope that you will understand this poem better when you read it more and more. That's all for today. Thank you. Stay home. Stay safe. Allah Hafiz.